results across Europe in football this weekend. Now, it was a very, very eventful weekend of football results, I must say. Like, everywhere across Europe, in the Premier League, everywhere there was some crazy stories and crazy matches. So I'm going to give my thoughts on all of them. So yeah, let's just go through and talk about them, and we start with, well, one of the big talking points from the weekend: Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 3. Oh, okay, sure. Goal from Josh Achimpong, Pedro Neto, Reece James, and a red card from Malo Gusto. Now, obviously, the main talking point here we will get onto. I just want to talk about Chelsea just for 1 second before we dive into Ange. But yeah, look, from a Chelsea perspective, it was really a game of two halves for us. The first half was very, very bad, and we were very fortunate not to go 1-0 down in at the break. The build-up play was horrific, just constantly giving the ball away, gifting chances and opportunity to Forest. But credit to Maresca, because he changed things. He realised he had messed up, and the second half was much better, and we thoroughly deserved to get the victory in that second half. He brought on Q, pushed João Pedro into the 10. João Pedro was much, much better in that 10 role. Brought on Caicedo for Lavia, who was really struggling. We saw the impact Caicedo had as well. Garnacho as well didn't really have a good game, came off. And yeah, we were much better in the second half, and 3-0 win will definitely take that. Although, I mean, are we serious, guys? 5 red cards in the last 5 games. What is going on? Like, Malo Gusto, what the hell are you doing? There's absolutely no need to be doing that when we're 3-0 up. But yeah, I mean, that's the only downside to this game here. I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed about this now. Like, can we just keep 11 men on the pitch for 1 game, please? Please. But yeah, the main talking point here, though, is of course Ange Postecoglou was sacked straight after this game by Nottingham Forest. I believe he only lasted 39 days, lasted 5 games in the Premier League, did not win a single match, 0% win record, 6 losses and 2 draws in all competitions. Yeah, pretty bad. But in terms of my thoughts on this whole situation, I will say that I feel very bad for Ange, and I do think it's a pretty crazy thing to do. Now look, of course the results are very bad, and you should have a win by now. But I feel like, this whole situation is just all down to the owners. You cannot really blame Ange for this mess, because quite frankly, I don't understand the thinking here. You get rid of Nuno because, you have your disagreement, that's fine, okay, cool. When you get rid of Nuno, you have 2 options. You can either go for someone a little bit similar to him and, go try and get results, or you can go for what they did, which is go for Ange, who is essentially the complete opposite style of manager to Nuno. And, you want to try and change the philosophy, change the way the club plays. If you want to do that, that's fine. But if you do that, you cannot expect results straight away, and you must be willing to give them time to completely change this team. You must, because like I said, Ange is the complete opposite manager to Nuno, so it was inevitable that when you have a complete 180 in terms of how you play mid-season, your results are going to be quite bad straight away, most likely. And that's what's happened. Now granted, as I said, you would have expected them to get more points and do better than they have done. But for me, why would you appoint Ange in the first place is if you wanted instant results and you weren't willing to give him time to change the style of play at the club. It doesn't make any sense to me. You either hire Ange and say, okay, we're going to give you at least like 15 games here to really try and, revolutionise this team and turn it from one of the most defensive teams into one of the most attacking teams. And we don't necessarily care that much about the results. Or you don't hire him at all and you hire someone else. You don't do what they did, in my opinion, where you hire him and ask him with 5 Premier League games to somehow just turn this team into playing Ange ball. It doesn't make sense. Now, yeah, look, he's gone, and the worst thing about it is, if you made a mistake, that's fine. You want to get rid of Ange, okay, cool. But why did you not just do it in the international break? Why did you wait until this? Yeah, it's a mess. Looks like Mancini or Deitch could be coming in again. Where's the sort of joined up thinking they're two extremely different style of managers? It doesn't make too much sense to me. Forest are just a bit of a mess right now, and I'm starting to worry about them. I really am, because a lot of their key players look short of confidence. They don't look like a team anymore, and I am really starting to worry about them. We'll see who they appoint, but things could be bad for them this season, and as for Ange, well, we'll see what happens with him. I personally don't think we're going to see him in the Premier League for some time now. I do feel bad for him in a way. Like I said, he's not really been given much time at all to completely turn this team into, like I said, one of the most defensive teams into his style. It was always going to take time. That being said, the results have been really bad, and not to get a single win is very, very bad. But yeah. Right, let's move on to Brighton 2, Newcastle 1. A brace from Danny Welbeck and a goal from Nick Waldemado. So Brighton pick up a very impressive victory here over Newcastle. Danny Welbeck brace. And guys, we need to put some respect on Danny Welbeck's name. This guy, year in, year out, for over like 10 years now in the Premier League, has just been consistently scoring goals. And since he's joined Brighton, he's been at Brighton for like 5 years now or something. They've signed so many strikers, yet none of them can displace Welbeck, because Welbeck is just so good. He's so consistent. He's scored this season as well. Yeah, he's on 4 goals and 5 starts this season. And look at this, look at all of that. He's just so consistent. He's so consistent in terms of getting goals. He's 34 years old now, but he's still banging in goals. Respect to Danny Welbeck, man. What a great Premier League servant he is. But this is a really good win for Brighton, because they definitely needed this. They haven't been incredible so far this season, but have a slow start to this campaign for them. But yeah, it's a really good win, a very good team, so good win for them. Newcastle though, yeah, it's been a real mixed bag, I think, so far this season from Newcastle. I think they really need to start picking up some momentum, building a bit of consistency here, because their away form, quite frankly, has been atrocious this season. I don't think they've actually won a game so far in the league away from home. They lost here, they drew Villa, they drew Leeds, they drew Bournemouth. These are games if you want to be getting top 4 again, which I think is their aim, you need to really be winning some of these games. They've just been really inconsistent. It was another pretty poor performance from Newcastle. The only real positive was Nick Waldemar, who scored a really nice goal. And that is another goal for him. How many is that now this season? It's 4 in 5 Premier League games. He also scored in the Champions League, I believe. So yeah, all comps, that's 5 in 8 games now. He is really say positive if you are a Newcastle fan, but overall that performance wasn't great. Next up, we have Burnley 2, Leeds 0. Goals from Leslie Kachukwu and Chaunu. I think that's how you say his name. So Burnley pick up a massive win here in a potential 6-pointer already early on in the season, and it was a bit of a smash and grab, to be honest, because you look at the stats here, Leeds did completely control the game and had plenty of chances but could have put the ball in the back of the net, and Burnley scored 2 goals from a 0.4 xg. They were, particularly the Chelna one, it was a 0.03 xg. It was an absolute banger from him to give them the win, and like I said, it was a sort of early 6-pointer this one, and Burnley come out with the 3 points, which is massive for them. Then Burnley this season have shown they're just going to grind out these wins, they're going to grind out these points. It's not going to be the prettiest, but these sorts of games, they're just effective, and they got the win. As for Leeds, though, I think this is starting to become a bit of a problem. This attack just cannot put the ball in the back of the net. They simply can't. And I think a lot of us sort of have highlighted it at the start of the season. I think we're seeing now that this is actually starting to become a bit of a problem, because there was no way that they didn't score a goal in this game. I look at that, 4 big chances, 2.6 xg, 19 shots. It is crazy that they didn't manage to score a goal. I mean, Brendan Aronson missed a really good one, Calvert-Lewin again, they just had chance after chance. And it's been a couple times now this season they've looked really blunt in attack. They can't put the ball in the net. And I think that is going to be Leeds' biggest problem. They actually are playing really well, but if they can't finish their chances, then they are going to have an issue this season. But a big win for Burnley. Right, on to one of the best games of the weekend. Crystal Palace 3, Bournemouth 3, a hat-trick from Jean-Philippe Mateta. 2 goals from Ellie Junior Kroppy and a goal for Ryan Christie. Now this game had absolutely everything in it. It was mental. Bournemouth took a early 2-goal lead. Ellie Junior Kroppy, great moment for him, the youngster grabbing a brace, and that's 3 goals now this season, and he's looking really good. Who knows, he might be that sort of next guy coming out of Bournemouth, as like last season we saw like the Dean Howsons and Gurkes emerge. Maybe it's going to be this year for Junior Groby, because he looks really good. And the first half, Bournemouth were thoroughly the better side. Palace were very poor in that first half, 2-0 down, but credit to Palace, credit to Glasner, because he changed it, and second half they were a completely different team. Look at that, 3.6 xg in the second half, and they managed to turn it around. They managed to get it to 2-2. Mateta with a quick fire brace, and that whole second half he was absolutely superb. I mean, just dropping deep, spraying passes, physical hold-up play, getting on the end of crosses for goals. It was superb. But then Bournemouth, in the 89th minute, got a goal with Christie, but then in the 97th minute, Palace got a penalty. Mateta scores, and then, right at the end, Mateta has a golden chance to win it, get his 4th, and turn it around, but he missed it. It was crazy. Look, I think this is sort of a typical Mateta performance, really. Mateta is just such a handful for defenders and teams to play because of how he plays. He's so physical. He's really good on the ball. He likes to drop deep, and he's great in getting in goal scoring opportunities. But he can be a little bit inconsistent in front of goal. He scored 3 goals in this game, but I actually think he should have had more. You look at his XG, it was 3.6. So he's so good at getting in goal scoring opportunities. He's just a little bit inconsistent lose away, not once but twice. They were 2-0 up, they threw that away, they then get themselves back in front, and then they chuck it away again and almost lose it. Yeah, very poor game management there from Bournemouth. Alright, next up, Manchester City 2, Everton 0, a brace from Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland yet again bailing out Man City. It was a particularly great performance from Man City, I will say. Everton actually caused some real problems, and the first half in particular was poor from City. I thought they weren't particularly great, and Everton actually had a really good chance to early on to get in the lead. Better really should have scored, but they couldn't put them away. And then the second half they did improve, and they got Haaland more involved. He didn't really have too many chances in the first half, but yeah, I mean, Haaland grabs a brace, 2 nice finishes. He probably should have actually had a hat-trick. He had 2 chances, 1-on-1, which he did mess up, but he's got 2 goals. So yeah, Haaland is just looking unstoppable right now. And I mean, with Man City, when you've got someone like Haaland on your team like this, in the form he is in, like, it doesn't necessarily matter how bad they play. Like I said, I thought they were pretty average in this game. They weren't particularly special, but they only needed to get a couple decent chances to Haaland, and there you go. They win the game. So yeah, I will say though, some of the other players need to start stepping up, because if I show you this, we look at this, look at that. No City player has scored more than 1 goal in the Premier League this season besides Erling Haaland. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I think he does need to start getting a bit of help, because they can't just keep relying on Haaland, or can they? Because I mean, at this point he is ridiculous. Alright, next up we have Sunderland 2, Wolves 0, goals from Nordi Mukiele and an own goal from Ladislav Goretzki. So another sort of early 6-pointer potentially at the bottom end of the table, and Sunderland pick up another victory here. 2-0 win over Wolves. And yeah, it was a hard-fought victory. They got a goal early through Mukiele, and then Sunderland defended for a lot of the game, but they were really good defensively, really resolute. They didn't really give Wolves too many chances, and then got that late own goal at the end. But yeah, it's another win for Sunderland. It's another home win as well. I believe they actually have the best home record. Oh yeah, they're joint with Arsenal and Bournemouth for the most points at home this season. 3 wins and a draw at home this season. They've really turned Stadium Light into a bit of a fortress, and that is going to be valuable, because you want to stay up in the divisions. You need a good home record. So Sunderland are doing great right now. They're getting a lot of points early on, and they're importantly beating teams who you'd expect to be in and around them as well, which is fantastic. So well done to Sunderland. What a start they've made to life back in the Prem. As for Wolves though, see, the last few weeks I've sort of been saying the Wolves have been getting better. I wouldn't be too concerned. Now I would be concerned, because I think this was a real regression from Wolves here. After their last couple games where I thought they were decent, picking up points for Spurs and Brighton, this was bad. Like I said, they don't really create a ton of chances against Sunderland here. And this is a team who Sunderland started great, but you would still expect to be down in the bottom ends of the table. Losing 2-0 against a team like that, now I would start to be worried. Poor performance, and yet still no wins for Wolves. Big concern, big concern. Right, next up, Fulham 0, Arsenal 1, goal from Leandro Trossard. So Arsenal pick up another victory here to go top of the table, well, stay top managed to find a way through that corner, and Trossard knocked it in. But defensively, they were absolutely superb, and it's another clean sheet for Arsenal. They've been rock solid at the back this season, barely letting up any goals, any chances in most games. Yet again in this game, Fulham didn't really lay a glove on Arsenal. And, you know, it's an old saying that goals win games, but defence win titles. And currently, Arsenal have the best defence in the league. So, yeah, that's great. I mean, the one thing I will say is the attack is still, I think, sort of finding its feet. Because in this game was absolutely magnificent. Paul Sessegnon was getting ripped up time and time again in this game. But yeah, you know, Eze was an amazing. Gyökeres, he's still, I think, sort of adjusting to his team. Still, you know, he hasn't really clicked. So that's, I think, the only thing with Arsenal. Like, Arsenal are looking really good right now, but I think, you know, there's still a bit of a fine margin team where in this game, you know, their goal came from a corner, came from a set piece still, and they're only winning these games by one goal. But I guess that doesn't really matter when your defence is really good. But I think once this Arsenal team, if they can get this attack to really start purring and really start clicking, you know, putting these sort of low blocks to the sword, then I would be in a position to say, yeah, Arsenal are the real deal and are going to look like going to take some serious beating for this title. But yeah, good win, keep on getting points on the board, and they've made a really strong start to the season, Arsenal, so well done. Right, next up, Spurs 1, Villa 2, goals from Rodrigo Bentincourt, Morgan Rogers and Emi Buendia. So Villa pick up a massive victory here away from home against Spurs. 2-1 here, and they scored 2 fantastic goals in this game. Morgan Rogers with a absolute beauty. A really, really well taken goal. First goal, I think, actually of the season. Look at that again, 0.04 XG on his goal there. Rogers hasn't really had a good start to this season, so in this game he was very good, managed to get a goal. That's really good for his confidence, that's really good for Villa, because when Rogers is at his best, Villa are at their best. But then the second goal was again superb, again Buendia, 0.04 XG on his goal. It was incredible play, the pass from Cash, the touch from Digne, the finish from Buendia. Wow, unbelievable goal. And really well done to Villa. They needed this victory. They've been a little bit slow, but they've at the start of the season, but they're slowly picking up form now. That's, I think, yeah, look at that. All comps 5 wins in a row now, so Villa have their mojo back a little bit. And it's great to see, even if the performances aren't incredible right now, they're getting the results, which is great. As for Spurs, though, yeah, this is disappointing loss here, and it's another disappointing home result. Their home form really is starting to become a big problem for them here. They just about avoided defeat at home versus Wolves. They lost this game here. They lost against Bournemouth as well, so their home form is really not great. I mean, if you look here, look at that, they have the 17th worst home record in the Premier League so far this season. I don't know what it is, but at home they really seem to struggle, and yeah, it's a poor loss for them. It's a real poor loss from them. But let's talk about the main event here, the main course, the one you've been waiting for. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2, goals from Cody Gakpo, Brian Mbeumo and Harry Maguire. Oh my. See, I feel like a proud dad here because for those of you who remember, I guess kind of OGs, although it wasn't even that long ago, I had a Maguire to glory ultimate team. I had a Maguire to glory. My ultimate team on FIFA was called FC. It was centered around this guy because he was a meme at the time. He was so funny, and he like I said, it was a bit of a meme, but a redemption arc. Like I said, I feel like a proud dad. The redemption arc of big Harry Maguire. Oh my! Remember this time last year, he missed an absolute sitter to win the game at Anfield. He has redeemed himself. He has come up clutch. 84th minute, Harry Maguire dagger at Anfield to give United a win. I'm so proud of Maguire, man. I'm so happy for him. But look, in all seriousness, this was a massive result, in my opinion. This was a massive result for both teams here, and I think this has some quite big implications. Like, this is one of the sort of biggest results I think of the season so far, genuinely. Because for United, this was the result that Amram needed. He really needed this result. Of course, we know about how much they've been under Ruben Amorim, the amount of losses and all of the sort of negativity around him. To get a win at Anfield like this, and not just sort of like a lucky win, it was a fantastic performance. That is going to do so much for Ruben Amorim, not only just getting fans back on his side in terms of confidence, but it's definitely going to buy him some more time in the short term. But it also could be something that maybe United could start building on this. Maybe this is going to give the players some confidence that okay, you know what, actually this system works and we can actually build upon this now. We can actually kick on. Now, granted, we've sort of seen that script before with United, and after a big result like this, it wouldn't surprise me to just go ahead and lose the next game. But if they don't, then, like I said, I feel like this could have some really positive consequences for United, because it's a huge win for Amram. He's going to take the fans off his back. It's going to give him some time. It's going to lift the mood at Old Trafford massively, because it was a great performance, and some of the performances from the players was outstanding. Mbeumo superb, Cunha superb, Bruno Fernandes, wow, what a performance from him. Amad Diallo superb, Seni Lamens. United might actually have a goalkeeper. They might actually have someone who knows how to be a goalkeeper. It was just the basics. He did what he needed to do, but he didn't. He's not like Bindy or Onana where they just instill no confidence and they're so panicky. He was confident, he was assured, and he didn't crumble under any pressure. Superb. And yeah, huge win for Amram, huge win for United. Well done to them. As for Liverpool though, like I said, this game had big implications, and I think this has sort of been the reverse here for Liverpool, because you see, now Liverpool have seriously entered they're in a bit of a crisis. They generally are. They're in a bit of a crisis now. You see, the other games you could sort of say, well, we played alright versus Palace. Palace are a good team. Chelsea are a good team. It was a 90th minute goal, stuff like that. Now it's 4 losses in a row. Now you've lost at home to one of the worst United teams we've seen in ages. Yeah, now you're panicking. Now you're panicking if you're a Liverpool fan. 4 losses in a row. Yeah, this is bad. Now suddenly something needs to happen and something needs to change here for Liverpool, because it was another poor performance. To be fair, it wasn't that bad. Liverpool could have easily come away with a point from this game. It definitely had some chances, of is Virgil van Dijk doing there? I do not know. And in the second goal, Ibrahim Konate was actually pretty good in this game. Completely gets absolutely dunked on by Harry Maguire. It's like, it feels like almost every game now there's some defensive calamity at the back for Liverpool leading to goals. Whether that be the Chelsea game for the Esteval goal, Robertson sleeping at the back post, nobody closing down Caicedo, whether it be the Palace one on the corner, far too easy, far too simple. It feels like every game at this point Liverpool are making catastrophic errors at the back here, and everyone's to blame. Like yet again, the midfield Alexis McAllister. Oh my! Why is Slot still playing him? Is beyond me. This guy. What has happened to him? What has happened to McAllister? Genuinely, has someone swapped him out for his brother? Because what is going on here? Actually, I think his brother is better than him at this point. Another stinker from him. And speaking of stinkers, oh my word. Oh my word. Mohamed Salah. Boy oh boy. Wow. That was horrific yet again from Mo Salah. And maybe look, you've had a great career, Salah, but maybe your time is up. He's 33 now, but oh boy, he has been stinking it up this season, and yet again, absolutely abysmal in this game, absolutely abysmal. Alexander Isak again. Arne Slot said, now you can judge Isak, his pre-season's over, he's sharp. Well, I tell you what, he still does not look sharp, and if this is for Isak that we can now judge, and this is Isak fully fit, oh boy, because he should have scored. He had a clear one-on-one, missed it, and apart from that did absolutely nothing in the rest of the game. Yeah, there is a lot of problems right now at Liverpool. I mean, Slot as well needs to take some serious blame here, because why he keeps continuously playing McAllister, why he keeps continuously playing Salah, why he keeps continuously playing Isak. When there's players like Hugo Ekitike, who, I mean, he was pretty bad when he came on, but he's played better than Isak. Why is Isak still starting ahead of him? Why is Chiesa not getting a start? It's crazy. It's crazy. And yeah, like I said, I think this game has had some big consequences, because I think Liverpool now 4 losses in a row. Some serious problems at Liverpool now. Who knows, maybe this result could really kickstart United's season. Anyways, let's briefly go around Europe, because there were some really big results. There was the Klassiker in the Bundesliga this weekend, and it ended by Munich 2, Borussia Dortmund 1. Harry Kane got another goal, as he has been doing this season. And to be fair, Bayern Munich destroyed Dortmund in the first half. Could have been 2 or 3 up. Dortmund didn't even have a shot in that first half. But second half, Dortmund did improve massively and almost got back into the game. But in the end, Bayern Munich got the win. And yeah, that's Bayern Munich 7 for 7 now in the Bundesliga. It does look like, it's still early days, but it does look like they are most likely going to win this title, because it's going to take some serious stopping to get past them. But over in Liga, we might have a title race on our hands, because PSG dropped points to Strasbourg, wherever it is. There we go. Yeah, 3-3 in this game, and they were very lucky actually, because they were 3-1 down in this game. They did manage to pull it back to 3-3, but it is more points dropped for PSG, who have made a really poor start to this season. They also lost to Marseille earlier in the season. And speaking of Marseille, they won 6-2 and Mason Greenwood scored 5 goals, which now means they are top of the table. So PSG, that's 2 draws. Actually, they drew to Lille as well. Like I said, we might actually have a bit of a title race on our hands this season in Ligue 1. I know PSG have had some injuries, but they've been dropping some points early on in this campaign, and Marseille are looking really good. That's 5 wins in a row in the league for them, so one to keep an eye on. Hopefully we do get a title race this year in France. Over in Italy, we look like we're again going to have a good title race here because Napoli lost to Torino, but Inter Milan picked up a big win, beating Roma 1-0. And they were really good in this game, thoroughly deserved a win. And that does put them atop of the table now, and as a recording, Milan are playing Fiorentina, but that game is 1-1. So if that stays like this, then Milan will be in 4th, but really tight at the top in Italy. And finally in Spain again, some twists in the title race. Real Madrid are currently playing and it's still 0-0 there, but Ronald Araujo turned into Lewandowski 93rd minute equaliser. It was pretty funny. Lewandowski and Ferran Torres are injured, so they needed a goal, so they chucked Ronald Araujo up front in the game, and he scored a really nice goal actually to give Barca the win, and that put them top of the table with Real Madrid currently playing, and we actually have El Clasico next week, which should be great. But there we go. That was a roundup of all of the games. Let me know your thoughts on any of the games we discussed in the